is going on, everyone? Welcome to the No Life Digital Podcast. How are you all doing? Got some news for you. Got some gaming news. Got a little bit of tech news. Got some China news. Blizzard has been naughty boy, as well as the NBA. We got some delays, unfortunately. We got some releases coming up. And we have the Thronos. You don't know what the Thronos is? Just wait, you will find out. All right, let's jump into the show. What's up, everyone? What's up, co-hosts?
How's it going? Just going over here, I guess.
I've changed my name from Doobie to
Scooby Dooby?
China's bitch boy.
Oh
yeah.
Nah.
I like it.
All I know is that we gotta start breaking into the Chinese market, man. That's
Does anyone speak Chinese?
It might be time to
Ni hao. That's all.
get China. You know,
Dude, China might be hacking us right now just because we said their country 5 times in a row.
gotta start breaking into the e-juice market in China.
Well, wait. Do you have
I think it's illegal there.
We
I
all
don't
have
know, probably
we all have
is.
security cameras, so yeah, they're already watching us because that's
Yeah, they're already
China
fans.
policy.
Hello, China.
Yeah.
They're already fans of the show. All right. Let's jump into it. I can't be too long. We're trying to make this an hour. Let's start Apex. Apex has a new map, dude. Have you seen it?
I was playing it earlier. I'm
do you
still
like the
getting
map?
used to it. It's a mix of play styles depending on where you go and where the circles go. A lot of complaints I've seen is that it's too open, but while it's too open, there are good areas where it's very condensed for the run and gunners. Popular drops are like that where all the towers are, where all the like buildings with multiple floors are.
Mm-hmm.
That's very run and gun when you get inside. But the majority of the map is pretty much aimed at sniping, especially with a new weapon,
Yeah.
which is very strong. It's a very strong gun.
It's the only sniper that I would recommend.
I always run it. If I find it, I'm giving up whatever I have for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, that's kind of nice because last time I played it, the sniper sucked.
Yeah, they still do
Yeah.
suck. This sniper is okay. It's
So
actually
the big
usable.
the big thing for the charge rifle sniper is that it doesn't have any. It's like the Spartan laser, if you remember from Halo.
Okay.
It has no drop off, so you literally point and click even from across the map.
But there's just a little delay.
The small laser that fires before the main shot fires deals chip damage, so it's like 5-7 points of damage. So you kind of know you're gonna get hit by it. If you get hit by that small laser, so you can try to dodge. So there are some like things that can prevent you from getting murdered by it, but you got to be quick on your reflexes.
Yeah, it's okay. I
Yeah.
like crypto though. I do like
I will
crypto.
And I will say that it has the problem that shotguns had early on, where you only really need like 1 or 2 stacks of ammo that'll last you all match.
Yeah.
Whereas like how shotguns were, like it's way too many stacks, so it either needs to use more ammo or have less, or the stacks need to be changed for it or something. Because that's the problem, is you can't just change the stacks for it because it's an energy weapon. And you have a variety of energy weapons, unlike shotguns.
Yeah, and there's the new double tap, which lets you shoot 2 shotguns.
Which makes the scout
once.
an interesting weapon for now you get like a burst mode essentially.
Yeah. But still, like the time to kill on like the R99, the R301, they're just so fucking high or low, I should say. That it's just anytime you see those guns, you just have to pick them up. I still think they need a lot of balance.
Even the RE45.
Yeah, I love the
extremely high rate of
RE45.
fire.
I'll carry that any day of the week.
And now that there's no disruptor rounds, there's no reason to pick up the alternator. It's gone back right into the dumpster.
Yep. Yeah, the RE45 is a much better choice in that scenario. So that's my biggest problem with it. I like crypto. I like to be able to surveil the map.
He's interesting. I think he's a terrible. If you're playing with randoms and you're not using mics and communication, he's a terrible choice.
Yeah,
But
you
if
have to
you're
be
in
able
a
to communicate.
if you're in a pre-made squad with 3 people you know, like with 2 other people you know, like you guys are playing together, he's fantastic because you can just communicate very quickly a lot of information. That playing without mics or playing with randoms, you're gonna get left you're just gonna get left behind.
Yeah.
People kind of seem to play on random. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, he's definitely like a team player, but I do like the EMP and I like to be able to I mean, you can just set your drone up and it'll automatically spot, which is nice if they come into the area of your drone. It does have one HP though, so it's easy to take out, but I've been enjoying it. I just think I'm not the biggest fan of this new map. I don't like this train system. I don't like these like city areas. It's because it's not like a PUBG where it's, you know, very methodical. I mean, you gotta like hunt these people down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You gotta like go through these mazes and then they end up trapping you, or you end up trapping them.
It definitely has problems that any new map will have. You don't know the map quite like you know Kings Canyon.
Yeah.
You don't know all of the little things here and there. And I've seen people where they get into the final circle and they're kind of screwed because there's a bunch of rocks in the way. They don't know the way around them.
Right.
So it's just kind of your start. It's like any other map. It's only been out for a week. You know, we don't know everything for the meta.
I'm very happy there is a new map.
People are very quick to go, this is bullshit. Give me Kings Canyon back. It's
Yeah.
like, no, we've been asking for a new map the entire time. And now that we got a new map, you automatically don't like it because you don't know it.
Well, you also can't play the other one. I don't know why they didn't just leave the other
They
one.
are. The reason was because they're making a nighttime version of it for their event.
Oh, okay. And then you'll be able to choose, like how PUBG
Well,
has it?
It'll be a limited time event for kind of like how the last one was, that like Void Walker event. But this is a game mode event where it's kind of a zombies kind of thing where 60 players solo, and as soon as you die you become a ghost, and then once there's 10 players left, those 10 players have to try to work together to make it to a drop ship to escape, and you get to come back as a zombie, or what they call a shadow, and you have melee attacks, increased speed, and you have unlimited respawns.
Yeah.
So essentially, once you die, you become part of the pack to try to prevent the other players from.
But that map's never coming back after that.
We don't know.
Okay. I would imagine.
I would imagine it will. They worked hard on that map. They're not just going to throw it away.
Yeah.
I imagine in the future it will be added to a rotation, or to maybe different game modes. Maybe ranked will be on one map and casual play will be on another, or they'll rotate them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're only in season 3, so you know, and they want players to play on the new map exclusively right now because they want to get data on it. They want to know where maybe loot needs to be changed, where kind of like how they did with Thunderdome, where the map, like all the loot was just spread out randomly, and then they're like, this doesn't make sense. We're gonna make it so that they're supply bins.
Mm-hmm.
So, and right now, loot distribution has been a big problem. A lot of people are complaining about that.
Yeah, it is a wonky. Loot. Yeah, I've been noticing that.
And you can't, if you're not going to be playing on the map, there's no way for them to gather the data that they need for that. So
I played
that's
about
why they want people
4 to 5 hours. I found one purple shield.
There's places, it's kind of like the old map, where there's places where you know good loot's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, you always know if you're going to land in Thunderdome or in Pit that there's going to probably be purple armor or a Phoenix kit. One of the two will be there. It just depends on the luck you get.
Yeah, I am happy there's a new map. All right.
I think it's good, but
moving on, Destiny 2. It's free to play now. I downloaded it. I was able to bring my PlayStation Destiny person into Destiny 2 free to play, and
a lot of fucking bullshit work.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
It finally works now.
It wasn't,
but the first couple of days, it didn't work.
Yeah, when I did it, it wasn't too bad. But it is so confusing. I didn't know what to do. I just uninstalled it. I played for like 2 hours and then I uninstalled it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I don't.
I've heard good things about the new content that you have to buy, but like at the end of the day, the rest of it's still Destiny.
Yeah,
You like it or you don't.
and I do like it, but I don't know how. I don't know. I guess I have to buy the expansions because I
You need
already
people to
played.
play with.
Yeah, I need people to play with. But I was just interested. Like, all right, it's free. Let me see. Let me get some content. And
The
I
free
had no
stuff is
idea where to
just-
go,
The free stuff is just the base game you already bought when it came out.
which I already
That's
beat.
right.
So
That's
then I was
that's
like,
the
is there
downside.
anything else to this? And there wasn't. I would have just had to start a new player and then redone the base stuff. And then all of a sudden, all of your stuff is already at max level or base level. It was like 750, which I thought was confusing. I don't know. It's just they need a better way to like tell you what's going on and what you need to do, because you just land right back at the base and you're just like, okay, where do I go? What planet? Do I have any quests? But I guess you have to buy these expansions. So that's my thoughts on Destiny 2. It looks great, plays great. It's free now.
Yeah, no, it's still one of those games that it's pretty good, but it seems like wasted potential
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah, it does.
Because like it is one of those, and that's like all the looter shooters, where it's like it's so close, but
Yeah,
there's not. Yeah,
they haven't quite figured out the formula yet. I would love an not an Apex, an Anthem Destiny sort of crossover, because I think Anthem's cool, but it's
But
not an
Anthem
open
has-
world, It's
and
like,
Anthem has even more problems of
Right.
lack of content.
yeah, yeah,
That's the
and
biggest
there's no
thing
one
of all
playing
of
it.
these games. Yeah,
There's no
that's
one
the
playing
big-
Anthem.
Well, no, and that's the thing with Destiny also, which kind of rubs me off of it, is like Destiny's great for the first 2 weeks when new content's out, and then after that, no one plays it.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's move to news. Big news here. Doom
Like,
Eternal got
I will
delayed.
say, related to Destiny, if you haven't already bought the new Destiny thing, like expansion, don't bother buying it. You missed it. Like
Yeah.
that's how I feel about Destiny.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to put it. You already missed the boat. You should have already been playing it, because you're gonna
See-
hop in, and if you want to play with your friends, it's just not gonna be fun because they've already
didn't-
done the
I didn't
raids 10
play-
times.
I never played Destiny 2. I played Destiny 1, but I only played it a little bit because by the time I got into it, everyone was already out. But hey, it's free to play. I'll download it.
Yeah, you can go through the campaign for free, it's pretty fun. Like, the shooting is great, and the
Yeah.
loot is great. There's great weapons. The customization it's all fun. But
Like the actual mechanics and the PC port are really good.
yeah,
They're still really good. It's just I wish there was things to do in an obvious manner, or just stuff to do.
yeah,
That was the downside. Is like I'm hoping that more of these expansions help, but like the base game, it was Destiny 1.
mm-hmm. All right, Doom Eternal has been delayed to 2020. Do we know why? Throughout the development of Doom Eternal, our goal has been to deliver a game that exceeds your greatest expectations across the board. The statement reads, to make sure we're delivering the best experience for Doom Eternal to live up to our standards of speed and polish, we've made the decision. All right, so I guess they're just like optimizing it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean,
I've
no one's
always
really
been-
like dying for a Doom right now,
True, but like I don't know. I've always felt that way about all games where it's like, yeah, if you don't think it's ready, then don't launch it. Like, don't you don't have to crunch everything, but also just like, yeah, I'd rather wait and buy a good game than buy an unfinished game,
Yeah. Same.
because there's so many goddamn games out there that like if I have to wait a little bit longer for this one specific one,
Cue
Who
up the
cares?
classic Miyamoto quote: "A bad game will always be bad. A delayed game might be good."
yeah.
Well,
Or
it's like
whatever it is.
if I play a bad game in the beginning and it sucks, I'm not playing that game. I don't care
Yeah,
how.
like,
Like, No Man's
once
Sky
there's-
is a perfect example.
It's supposed to
Yeah,
be
because
fixed,
then now
everyone
it's like
loves it
actually
now,
fixed,
and everyone
But-
loves it now, but like who's actually going back and playing it?
Right.
Speaking of which, wow! I opened up Steam, and the first thing that comes up is, "Hey, No Man's Sky, half
Yeah.
off."
Steam has been pushing No Man's Sky pretty hard.
Yeah.
I see it all the time up there.
Um.
All right.
Yeah. Is the release date? Like, do they have a release date like window for Doom Eternal? Or
They
what's
just
up with it?
said March 2020.
Oh, cool. So it's coming out the same month as Animal Crossing.
March 20th,
It's-
2020.
I think that's the same day as Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
weird.
But I wouldn't consider those two really competitors.
Yeah,
Not at
they're
all.
two
If I'm being
different
honest,
markets.
they're way
Yeah,
vastly different markets.
That's
You
just
never know,
funny to
though.
me.
People love Animal Crossing. You never know.
Oh no, Animal Crossing would be huge, but I think like for core demographics, that's about as polar opposite as you
Yeah.
can get.
Yeah, I mean it's smart. If you want to
Let's see,
release a game and you want to get hype, release it
March
alongside
20th.
like Death Stranding or Last of Us, because if like it's just gonna help. It's just gonna help. The reviews really. They're gonna be
And
right
let's be
next to them.
honest. Let's be honest. Even if you're buying Doom Eternal on the Switch, which I don't know why you would, you're probably gonna buy Animal Crossing first.
Yeah. All right. Blizzard subreddit closes after devs suspend Hearthstone player for pro Hong Kong statements. Hearthstone player Chung Blitzchung, how do you say NG again? I forget. Say
Win?
win, but there's no N or Y. I don't know.
Why? I was gonna say you should end-
Chung Win Y recently made waves when, during an official competition, he voiced support for Hong Kong amidst ongoing protests over Chinese rule. He's since suspended from competition by Hearthstone developer Blizzard and stripped of his tournament winnings, a move that has been widely criticized. During all this turmoil, the Blizzard forum on Reddit has chosen to close until further notice. This is crazy to me. I wouldn't have expected anything like this to happen. The fact that they suspended him for that's insane, man. I mean, Blizzard.
No, they didn't even just suspend him. They took away his prize money for a year, suspended him for playing for a year, but then on top of that, the two casters that he was talking to that apparently allowed him to say these things got fired.
Oh my god. And they haven't made any statements, right?
No.
No statements have been released.
I mean,
yet.
other than just we're banning you because our sole discretion that you're being divisive or something.
They know the backlash they're getting. They know no matter what they say, it's just going to be met with.
They
extreme
knew the
criticism.
backlash before they even did it.
Oh
So
yeah, that's why they haven't said anything.
That's what makes it even worse. It's that it was a calculated decision. It wasn't just a rash. We'll get him out of here. He dropped an N-bomb or something. It was like, if we ban this guy, we're basically making a statement that we are pro-China and like we're going to always be on the side of mainland China. And I think
it's
is
less about them
crazy.
being pro-China and more about them being we want to make as much money as possible, which means they have to be in the
which
Chinese
is
market.
pro-China. It doesn't matter exactly their motives. It's the optics of it all.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
they
I
were
believe me, I
well
think it's
aware of it, and
terrible.
they were perfectly fine making that decision, getting that backlash, being known as that type of company, and I think that's a big mistake, man.
And it's not just them; it's a lot of Western companies are allowing China to essentially bully them,
No,
Yeah.
saying,
my
"Hey,
biggest
you want a piece of our market? You got to play by our rules."
Yeah.
my biggest thing. Okay, this is what I always feel weird about with Blizzard, like in current Blizzard, modern Blizzard, I guess, is it's Activision Blizzard. Activision came in and screwed up a lot of things according to Blizzard fans, which I kind of agree with. But like, it's always weird to me that when either one of these two companies do something good or bad, there is usually like a weird way they people break them up. So it's like,
So if something
this is
does it good, it's Blizzard. If something does it bad, it's Activision.
But like right now, it's Blizzard is doing bad, not Activision Blizzard is doing bad.
Right.
And it's like, they're all the same shitty company at this point, sadly.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, this is an old school Blizzard fanboy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not the same company.
It's not. Like all the old good people at Blizzard are long gone, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not the same Blizzard. It never will. I mean, this is just a clear example of
It's
that.
Activision and your shareholders.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, I get it too because we're right in the midst of a trade war. We need to be on really good terms with China, but there's also like a
But also at the
humanitarian
same time,
crisis
we
going on.
shouldn't be on good terms with China.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to make that decision. What they should have done is just let it be and just see if China would have reacted in any way. You know, if China started threatening the company, then maybe make that sort of statement and then come out and be like, look, we were kind of forced to make this decision. But it was more like proactive, like, look.
Yeah, that was the really weird, shitty part of it. It did seem preemptive,
Right.
more so than a reactionary reasoning for doing it.
This would have had a different narrative if China was like, you have to remove him if you want to do any sort of business in here. Because then you'd be like, all right, they had to do it. They still kind of had to, but now it's like, you know,
But now it's obvious what your morals are at this point to most people. Which at the same time, that's like, it's not surprising. Like,
it's not.
I don't get why we have to say this every time we talk about Apple in China or Google in China or anyone in China. This is a giant, massive company. It's not your friend.
Yeah.
Like, it still sucks though.
Yeah. All right. Is there any other news on that? I don't think there is, right?
I mean, I'm sure there will probably be more coming out, but yes, all of Reddit's been in an uproar today because there's also a conspiracy thread being made because at first it made it to the top of world news, it made it to the top of news, it made it to the top of politics, it made it to the top of gaming, every other thing like that. And it like people started deleting the posts. A lot of mods were deleting the posts, so now there's a giant conspiracy that oh no, they were trying, since Reddit's partially owned by Tencent, they were trying to censor it, when really it was probably just a lot of people were like, this isn't our subreddit's content, we're just gonna ban it.
That is interesting though.
I will say some of the irony, and I'm definitely seeing it like on Twitter, is that there's a large sector of people that are very adamant about keeping politics out of gaming, and they seem to have no problem right now with bringing politics into gaming with this.
Yeah, when they say
so there's a lot of hypocrisy happening right now.
No, when they say keep politics out of gaming, they mean they want their politics in gaming.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything about
politics. Hell yeah.
Now, on the flip side, like the counter argument to that is, like, I do think the current humanitarian crisis that is Hong Kong is a lot larger than like traditional politics.
Right. Then like
to play devil's advocate, I guess.
Then like lesbian displays of, you know, affection in Last of Us. That stuff's just like neckbeard, you know, Mitgao craziness.
No women in my battlefield. That's not historically accurate.
Yeah, that's another one.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would
roll
be
my eyes any farther back.
That would be my obvious devil's advocate, I guess. But at the same time, I do agree. Like, it is a shitty situation because, like, for me, I play Blizzard games still, and it's like, great, now I'm gonna have to feel scummy about it if I keep playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so I'm very curious to see if they're going to put out a response. It would be smart if they just didn't. If they just fucking
at this point,
just ignored it.
Don't.
Yeah, just ignore it. Don't bring it up because it's only going to make shit worse. I'm sure they know that. But what's going to happen is the outrage is going to get loud enough, and these companies are going to freak out and they're going to go, "Oh, we're going to have to make a response and justify these actions," and it's just going to make it worse.
And and to be fair, like, Blizzard does make a lot of money in China. Like, and this is before their phone game even comes out. Like, WoW's always been huge in China. Overwatch is huge in China. Like, all of their titles do really well in China.
Yeah.
And like they have a history of complying with the Chinese government. So that's not shocking, but it's never been like this. It's not been on a personal basis. That's where like the new divide's coming in. That's really weird. So like for backstory, when WoW came out, they complied with China and they censored the undead race. Like, they added skin so it wasn't just skeletons, because you're not allowed to show skeletons in China.
Oh, right.
Like, things like that. Like, they've always been willing to do that, but it's never been we're going to ban a specific person for voicing his opinion or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey man, they banned Winnie the Pooh.
Did they?
Yeah, because people were comparing.
It's a big meme.
The president of China, Xi Jinping.
You know how Putin banned the picture of him being gay?
Yeah.
It's basically that.
I guess he does kind of look like Winnie the Pooh. I never realized that.
Yeah, no. So that's just his gay Putin ban outrage. So of course everyone's memeing on it.
There's a picture of what's his name? Xi Jinping and Obama walking, and then Winnie the Pooh and Tigger walking, and it's the same exact fucking thing. That's pretty funny. All right, well, hopefully they'll play this podcast in China after they see that. Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All I'm saying is, people, please get a VPN if you're in China, and I hope you start. I hope, yeah.
Yeah,
I
get
just
a
hope it doesn't
VPN
get
no matter
worse.
what.
True.
To be honest, the U.S. has been moving a lot closer to what China's doing than I'd like to admit.
No comment.
Well, this is a great quote too by Senator Ron Wyden. He says, "Blizzard shows it is willing to humiliate itself to please the Chinese Communist Party," and that's basically how I kind of take it. Like they knew the backlash, they knew how this would look, yet they didn't really care. They want to make sure that they please the Chinese Communist Party so they can continue to do business, and if that means humiliate themselves, then they will do so, and that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. All right, moving to some good news. We got Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to PC in November. November 5th it should be released. Everyone get ready for this. If you haven't played it yet, you are in for I'm sure, polarizing ride, because some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. I think it's one of the greatest games ever made. Some people absolutely hate it. Nonetheless, you'll be able to play on PC, crank those graphics, get that online going. We're going to have Western Twitch streamers now. It's going to be cool.
Buy a 2080 Ti finally for it.
There you go. Is that what you're going to do?
No.
Oh.
No.
I was going to get excited there.
No, I'm probably gonna. I'm actually really interested in what AMD's doing, if I'm being honest. But
what, they're like 5,500?
nah,
Oh.
like 57 XT versus 2070 versus 2060 Super.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
Well,
where
if
my
you get a new
price range
graphics
is.
card, that's the game to get it for.
True.
It is a gorgeous game. PS5 is officially the PS5. Launches holiday 2020. We're going to have to wait over a year to play this PS5. Will feature an updated UI. Wow, thank you, PlayStation Lifestyle. I didn't know that the new PlayStation is going to give us a new UI. Who would have guessed that?
I know, right?
Also, I just want to go on record. That's basically what I said every single time we've talked about PlayStation 5 leaks, is that no, it's still probably 2 years out. But
Yeah.
I mean,
we got a
Scarlet
little over a year.
is, or whatever they're gonna wind up calling Scarlet, is also slated for holiday 2020. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a very
which
interesting
we've heard
holiday season
Scarlet
next year.
rumors for like 4 years now. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say too, it's going to be very interesting when both these consoles kind of come out around the same time. Has that happened before? Where they came
Yeah,
out
it
around the
happens.
same
It's
holiday?
happened
It happens
plenty of times.
almost every single time they both launch them. Just one
I always
wins,
thought
one doesn't.
Xbox was first, or maybe Sony was first for the PS3. Then
I mean,
the
they,
Xbox
like,
came out.
Like maybe by
remember.
like a month or so, but I
I'll
don't
tell
think
you right
it was
now.
a.
Let's
I don't
see.
think it was a big difference.
Yeah,
from what I
let's see.
remember.
Let's see the release dates on the two last gen consoles.
PS3 release date was November 11th in Japan and North America November 17th. Xbox 360 was so November 17th in North America. November 15th. No, that was the original Xbox. Was November 15th. When was the 360 release date? It was November 22nd of 2005.
Right. So it came out
So
a little
within
bit after.
5
Came
days,
out-
5 days of each other.
What was it-
counting
what was
that
the
as
next
Oh,
one.
wait. Xbox 360 was 2005. PS3 didn't come out till a year later.
Okay.
Oh, so PS3 was later.
Was
Okay.
a year later.
Okay.
But I mean like the PS4 and Xbox One. That's what I meant.
Xbox
Like,
One
that
release
was like the
date
same.
was
No, I
November
thought the PS4 came
22nd.
out first. I
It might have came
thought.
out first, but I don't think it was that big of a that.
I thought it
different.
was like months.
Might have been, but I don't know. I don't think so.
No, yeah, PS4 release date was November 15th, 2013 in North America. And the Xbox One was November 22nd, 2013 in North
Yeah.
America.
So it did came out at the same time. So it was just
And
the last gen consoles.
For the hell
or
of it,
two gen.
the
gens
Wii
ago.
U release date was November 18th, 2012.
Okay. So pretty much in
Nobody
line
bought that.
in line with what last gen did. Maybe that's when the new Switch will come out. That'd be cool.
I mean, the Switch.
It can be an
I mean, the
expensive
Switch definitely-
2020.
Apparently,
No,
a
I
lot
said
of
this-
people
this-
are really liking the light. Is all I'm saying.
The
Yeah.
Switch definitely bucked the trend by coming out in March
True.
and showed that if you have an innovative piece of software and a hardcore fan base, you can kind of release a console whenever you want.
Well, there was
Well,
nothing
that,
else
but it's also-
released.
That's
It's-
exactly. They had no
right, well,
competition around that
yeah,
time.
exactly.
On top of that, too,
It's
though,
smart.
like, okay, so you have to go. You have to go even deeper than that. So you're Nintendo. You're
they hit
primarily
that.
no. You're primarily like your main audience for the most part. Let's be honest, is it's a younger audience. You're trying to target school children. When do kids get out of school? When is a perfect time to buy them a console for summer vacation?
Yeah.
Well, so
That
and
was
that's the thing,
brilliant.
and
It
that's
was
definitely the
brilliant. They
thing.
should do
is-
it more often, to be honest.
Oh no, yeah, and I mean, and especially since like it was for the kids and the loyal crowd who are gonna buy it day one regardless, like me. We're gonna buy it no matter what month it came out in. And
Well, that's
so that
anything.
way-
That's any
Well,
console.
but that way they pretty much made it so that they had enough. Well, they had what, like some supply issues at first, but it was definitely like, hey, here's the soft launch for the loyal fan base, and then the
Oh, right.
mainstream is going to pick it up in holiday when it's already been out for a while. There's already games out.
You know,
I liked that release schedule. I liked what they did.
Yeah, yeah. If I owned like Xbox or PlayStation, I'd be like, as soon as this motherfucker's done, let's release it. I want to be the first out because you're gonna have that fucking title that everyone's gonna want to play, and that's just gonna get more people in there because some people can only afford like one Xbox or PlayStation.
So, when do you think Sony is going to have their big unveil event? Is it going to be this year's PlayStation Experience in
Yeah.
December?
yeah.
I could see December or yeah.
They're
then
gonna
what is
they're
the-
gonna announce
so
it. They're gonna
then-
show it off, and then they're gonna
Well-
show the
well,
games and shit.
So
throughout
will Microsoft wait until E3, which is a couple months after Sony's conference, to
Yeah.
show off what Scarlet is going to be?
yeah.
Possibly.
so.
And that could work to their advantage, and it might not. Like, because I think that
It would have
Unless
to be
Sony-
way
unless-
better
I
too.
can I can
Unless
see
Sony
Xbox
re-enters
having a big-
E3 just to unveil it, which
They
I don't
won't.
think they're going to do
No.
because they're done with E3.
They wouldn't
I
do that.
can see Microsoft winning this next one. To be honest, it
Yeah,
still
me
depends
too.
on the
It-
software. But like,
it-
dude, that
yeah.
PlayStation mockup looks so fucking ugly.
Yeah.
I hate that mock-up. I really
It's
hope
gonna
the
come
mock-
down to the extra features, like kind of how this system was supposed to be. You know, I
that
want
and
the
software.
HDR, I want the 4K to 6K to 8K options, the new tech. Like, it's got to have like all that home theater bullshit in there. It's got to have like a good online chat messaging, social
I'm
media
not gonna
stuff,
sit here- I'm not
streaming
gonna s-
stuff.
Well, social media, Sony kind of just removed everything for Facebook.
I'm
stuff,
telling you,
so-
whichever one has a better streaming platform, that's going to be the one that people get. Because that's
And that's the
really
thing
what
is-
gaming is. These
is
games
X-
come out on
and
every
that's-
console.
and that's going to come down to XCloud. How good is XCloud?
Yeah. And it's
I
gonna
will
be
say-
it's gonna be better than anything Sony does. But
I
I've said
will
that
say a
about
lot
every
of-
Sony product, and Sony has always proved me wrong.
I will say a lot of what
shit.
Sony's doing right now does feel very similar to what it was like heading into the PS3. And I've said it before, and I'm not saying that this automatically means Xbox is winning. But
What do
for
you mean
me,
by that? How do you figure?
PS2, one of the best selling consoles of all time, versus the Xbox. Xbox kind of was a very niche product at the time. They go into the PS3. It was more expensive.
It was pretty ugly.
It was pretty ugly,
Like I don't
and
get
you
me
can
wrong,
tell
I
that
love
Sony
mine.
Sony had this air of arrogance about them. Going, we made the PS2. Here's our new product. You're
It
gonna
was
buy
part-
it. You love
well,
it.
No, it was partially that, but it was all of the hype of the first 8-core super Jaguar.
Yeah, and they
bullshit
brought out
processor.
that big disc,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
silicon disc.
That was
And then
incredibly
and then the
difficult to
three-
code for.
And then the 360 in the North American market, of course, the 360 comes out and just blows it out of the water. Really good quality first-party titles that they had going for them at the time with Bungie. They had the Gears franchise that just really started.
No, it was
and
Xbox
it-
Live. It was Call of Duty Xbox
Oh
Live.
god,
That's
Xbox
why,
Live too was
that's
was
why everyone
such
got an
groundbreaking
Xbox.
for it.
Yeah. No one
So
was playing Call of Duty on PlayStation 3. You know?
Yeah, so I don't know if we're just at that point now where everything is so similar to each other.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
where it doesn't even matter. It really comes down to software, and if it's going to come down to software only, I mean, Sony's got that edge completely.
Sony does have an
Yeah.
edge there because you're still going to be able to play everything on these new consoles. So
Yeah.
they do have a
Everything
really
and first party
good-
titles.
They have a really
like,
good backlog, but the other thing too is, as long as Sony doesn't allow cross-platform, this might have worked for them in the long run.
Yeah.
and they're just starting to allow cross-platform. Finally, I think it took long enough.
True, but like
They
I mean,
finally are doing it.
well, yeah, because they didn't want to galvanize PS4 sales, but like that could be a reason for people to still buy the PS5 in a way, if like if they're just buying it for a hardware upgrade, but their main game's still going to be Rocket League or whatever is what they actually play the most. Like
Mhm.
that lock-in matters one way or the other. That could really help Sony or it could really hurt Sony. Depends
Yeah.
on who your friends
Yeah.
are you're playing with.
Like I said, I mean, Microsoft bought all of those first party studios. I want to see what they make and if what they make can compete with Sony. Because I mean, you got games like Horizon Zero Dawn, which were big surprises.
Spider-Man.
So I mean, and now they've locked up Insomniac as a first party
Sony's-
studio.
Sony's definitely got excellent exclusives. That's gonna be hard to
They
beat.
got it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like,
It's gonna be hard to beat, but I think if Microsoft can release a really great online ecosystem and streaming platform where
Like they
kids can just
tried
go,
with-
I want to play Fortnite and be a streamer like Ninja, and it fucking looks great. It
No,
doesn't look like
that-
the shit on Twitch now. Then
If-
Xbox will win. I guarantee it.
that could definitely help a lot. I agree, because that was the idea of the original Xbox One X or One, just the one.
Right.
But
Yeah,
like
Xbox
it
One.
didn't fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
But like now that they've had 9 years almost through, like, or 8 years, whatever, however long it's been in, because it was launched in 2013. They were working on that since at least 2010, if not before. Like
Yeah.
they have so much more experience. Maybe they could make something better. But at the same time, it's Microsoft, and for every Surface laptop you get, which is like an amazing piece of hardware, you have their stupid fucking headphones that who knows that no one should ever buy. So
I'm curious to see how
it's hard to trust them.
I'm curious to see how this gen will play out. I think it's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be interesting because now it's like a different gaming era where like these small, just like fucking Fortnite and Apex and these games with just like one game mode, massive online ecosystem, games and services. That's basically paved the way, and I think, it doesn't really matter what console you have. I was playing Call of Duty cross-platform. It worked great. Some people had problems on console, but I'm sure that will get ironed out. And it's the first game to really have done that. And I think it's just working great. So it's going to be interesting.
No, yeah, I definitely think we're getting closer to where it should be, but we'll see.
All right, PlayStation 5's SSD could reduce game file sizes, allow you to install only certain parts of a game. That's pretty interesting.
They were talking about so as far as it goes, like if you wanted to install the full game, you can install the full game. If you wanted to install only the multiplayer part, you could do that. And if you do like multiplayer and first player, if you're done with the single player stuff, you can then delete that and keep only the multiplayer, which is great for like maybe a Call of Duty where you play that single player experience and you're done with it. Instead of keeping all of that data still on there, you can just get rid of it and then have only the multiplayer, which you're going to be playing more of anyway. I think that will help with
That's pretty
trying
cool.
to determine what games you keep if you're going digital only. For those people who still want to do digital only,
Yeah, I just delete them all.
which is a large. I would argue a large. I mean, I think of the majority of people now are digital only, where I'm definitely in the minority here.
Yeah. Now, I don't know why this is like they're saying it's an SSD thing. This is really just a
They're
software
saying
thing.
something about how because it doesn't have to duplicate data and by spinning gears. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But that's just
I don't
that's
know
just
that stuff.
what an SSD is. It's not the only thing that's specific to the PS5
It's just
would
giant
be
flash storage. That's it.
And the
Yeah.
the future they're trying to go for is pretty much just having no visible loading screens. And I say visible because we all been in that where it's like, oh, you get into the elevator and the elevator's moving, but what's really going on in the background
Yeah,
is
that's
it's
awesome.
loading everything.
that's huge, man. I want no
Especially
loading
after
screens.
Well, especially after Anthem, one of the big problems with Anthem was the loading screens were like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a piece of
It was very
unoptimized
bad.
bullshit. Yeah, it's easy to fucking do when you optimize for it, and hopefully Sony makes it easier for developers to implement in their games with this like partial SSD partitioning thing. It's pretty cool. I would love to just here, I just want to download the Call of Duty multiplayer and then pay half price for it. That'd be sick.
You're not going to pay half price for it.
I know. A man could dream, doobie. God damn it.
Not going to happen. They want that money.
Guerrilla Games
paying for
hirings may point towards Horizon Zero Dawn 2 on PS5. I mean, come on. Obviously, this is going to be
It's
a big
got to
title.
be.
It's going to be a big
So
title.
they're hiring for a senior vegetation artist, I believe that's the title.
Well, how the fuck do you go to school to get that job?
Hey man, games.
I've been
these
drawing
days,
grass for
with
the
how-
last 15 years. I am the greatest grass drawer. I know all types of grass in 19 different regions. Hire me for your game.
I'm telling you, man, with
It's
how
not even trying it at this
detailed
point
these
more. It's all-
games are.
Yeah, it's all about placement more than anything.
Yeah.
And with how detailed these games are, you kind of need like a specialist for everything.
Yeah, that's why there's crunch, dude. That's why we have crunch these days. WGA drops a video game writing award, citing that they need to be provided a critical mass of video games that will give them a meaningful award selection process.
Essentially,
Okay.
they're saying there's not enough games on the market that have
Good writing.
good single-player writing to warrant an award every year, and I argue against that.
I don't. What games have good writing that are at a level of like movie status?
God of War,
Okay, there's one.
But that was
Spider-Man.
last year. That was
Yeah.
last year.
Last
Those
of Us.
Those are two. Those are three.
Was Last of Us this year? I don't think Last of Us was this year either.
I mean, I'm just saying in general that there
No,
is-
yeah,
No, it's
in
a
general,
they're
yearly
single-player
thing, though.
titles.
This is a
Right.
yearly thing.
I think that's the counterpoint is no, there definitely is. It's just not.
It doesn't.
We're not
I mean,
there
what-
yet of like every single year there is something.
I'm just saying, how
actually
many
good.
games do they need to be picking from? Do they need 50 different games?
I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's-
I don't know.
no,
I
that
guess
is
they.
fair.
If it's 3 games, they go,
But I mean,
okay, well,
like,
which
what-
of these 3 games had the best story?
What was a big release this year that could have been writing? I guess like
Let's see.
Fallout 76.
Apex
No.
Legends.
No, well, Apex is like side stuff. is
No, it's not
interesting,
gonna win a
but-
fucking
That's
Writers
not-
Guild
that's
award.
not-
dude.
yeah,
No,
no.
it's not. I didn't say it would, and I didn't say it should be in the running. I did say that their lore is
That-
not bad.
I think that was that's part of it. Is
As
this
far
year
as
was
story-based
really
games,
this year was really about multiplayer.
what do we
Yeah.
got here? Yeah,
Yes, we had Smash, we had Apex, we had
I the
Anthem.
Somnium Files, very good story.
Sekiro, but that's not like a
Dragon
story
Quest,
game.
solid story.
You had Borderlands 3.
No,
Astral Chain,
no.
Fire
Really?
Emblem.
You're also
I mean, I
expecting
would
that
argue-
they're not going to go through. They're not going to go through every JRPG though. That's the thing.
I mean, let's be honest. This is a committee that doesn't really that like they have a section for gaming for writing, but let's be honest, they really don't know anything about games.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna
would
argue.
argue that if there was every year there was at least 5 to
So they're-
10 God of Wars, then
and
they
they're
could
not
have
gonna-
that award. But there
Well, I
isn't.
also
and
And
there's
argue-
one.
I also argue that they're not going to put the resources in to have people play these games.
No, I can agree with that to an extent, but it's one of those like. So all of those games that you mentioned all the JRPGs that we mentioned that had a good
Yeah,
story,
I mean, story.
they were
story
also
writing is
followed up
definitely-
with well, it's a trope.
Yeah.
I will say that JRPGs generally have the strongest writing because that's just what JRPGs are. They're they're story-driven games.
Nah, I don't know if I agree with that. They
They
are
are.
story-driven
They
games, but
they're
I don't
usually
enjoy
the
them.
same
What
story.
what games have the writing
Like Astral Chain, for
Better.
instance, it's just not like there's a story to it, but it's not like a groundbreaking story.
It's not groundbreaking.
It's just like the same old fucking JRPG trope, save the world bullshit, anime, giggles and shit.
Like you need a Red Dead every year.
Yeah, like a Red Dead or God of War. If there was like 5 or 10 of those type of like blockbuster where they actually have like, some writers who are in like the film industry working on the game, then I could see it, but it kind of makes sense to me. Now in like a video game award show, that's a different story. But
I mean, then you have
something
like a bunch
this-
of indie titles like
True.
I think of what came out this year that had really good writing so far. I've heard really good stuff about the what's it called, Indivisible or something like that just came out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It has a very good story, but I haven't played it yet.
I can't recall any games this year that had like a great story.
Last year had a lot with like Celeste had a very good story.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into like games like what's I can't remember the name of it.
God of War definitely. God of War, or I would say Red Dead would be best story for like the last 5 years.
The one that
maybe.
dealt with mental illness. It's not Setsuna. What is it? God damn it. Hell's something.
I don't know. I feel like all indie games nowadays do.
No, you know what it is.
Don't they all talk about mental illness now? I mean, Celeste is about that.
Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade.
Oh, Hellblade. Yeah.
Yeah. That one had like a really good story.
I mean that one for sure. That one for sure. That one had a great. That one was like strictly a story. It was like a moving story.
But that's the problem with indie games is that that's still such a niche market.
Yeah, but that was a pretty big indie game, man. That game actually kind of broke some boundaries. Hey, Blades of Honor says Detroit Become Human, for sure. Yeah, that was definitely a pretty good story. I mean, just like in writing wise, it wasn't that good of a game.
Also last year though.
Yeah, a lot of good writing last year.
Like that's I guess that's my point. Where
maybe
like,
they just
the devil's
said, like,
argument is like this year wasn't that great for single player stories.
Yeah, maybe they just mean they're just dropping it this year.
That's what I think.
It's
oh no, it will cease to exist, and it will, as of 2020, it will cease to exist until the WGA. Okay.
Until they determine that there's enough of a market for it, I guess.
That's harder then. Yeah, then that's kind of shitty. It should still be an award. They should just drop it on a yearly basis if there's nothing.
To say there is nothing good. Like this year, I can't recall anything.
If they're just straight getting rid of it, then yes, I'm back on Doobie's side. That yes, there are games that come out at times that are definitely good enough, that they're written really well.
Yeah.
I guess
my argument was just this year.
Oh, I guess Control had had a lot of great writing in it.
I guess it comes down to just the fact that games are very it's volatile. Like there's no way you can say, okay, a game is definitely going to take X amount of time to come out, whereas film or television, you kind of know the general production cycles. Mm-hmm. Games are very varied in their production cycles.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go through this one real quick because I gotta get out of here soon. Overwatch director says Nintendo can have any character for Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's gonna be Tracer. Come on.
I mean, I'm saying. I mean, we don't know if they're even gonna put a character from.
No, but if they did, it'd be Tracer.
But if they did, and you had the choice, who would you pick?
I would probably pick Tracer.
You would just pick Tracer?
Yeah, just because
Bastion, because that would just be cancer.
That'd be like Rob. He'd run around like Rob.
Because oh man, I just imagine Tracer just being broken to hell.
Yeah, I would imagine Tracer. Or
personally,
maybe...
I would put in May.
Yeah, I don't know. They could do a lot.
More characters in May after today.
More characters with ice abilities.
Yeah, I would love to see I just give me more fucking characters in Smash, please, dude. I've been playing Smash ever since it came out, every single day, and I like to get up to 5.5 million on my GSP online, and then I'll switch to another one. I've only got there of like 6 characters. I have so many more to go, man. It's such a fucking great game. I hope is it in the running for Game of the Year? It's better be in the running for Game of the Year.
I mean, they haven't announced those yet for Game Awards.
It's so good.
It's gonna be.
It's so addicting. All right, let's get into tech, and we'll get out of here quickly. I have Mac OS Catalina. I used Sidecar. God damn it, it is awesome. It's awesome. Now that it's all like done up and everything works correctly, you don't need any wires. Wirelessly, it's a strong connection. Using real Photoshop with a file system on your iPad is an excellent experience. If you have Mac and you haven't upgraded and you have an iPad, that's the reason to do it, because it's just so great. I also got this new soundbar, a Dolby Atmos soundbar. It's the LG SLY8, and Yeah, Dolby Atmos is certainly like the HDR of audio. It really does make a difference. It sounds so good. I watched John Wick 3 last night, which if you haven't seen, is fucking great. And
what kind of market is your soundbar here?
say that again?
What kind of market, like, price range?
Oh, it's expensive. I think it was like
Okay.
$700.
Okay, yeah. If that's the downside to soundbars is
Yeah.
like if you're not going all out, you got to find the right one.
You can get a much cheaper, it just sounds just as good, like 7.1, 5.1 system, but you just have to make sure that you have like the brackets for the stuff. I was like, let me just get the sound bar because my couch is pretty close to my TV in the living room, and I didn't want to have to deal with all like the brackets and stuff. But you can spend $200, get a 5.1 system, it'll sound phenomenal. It'll sound so much better than your TV speakers.
Yeah.
But
Even
if you
just
want a
like
good sound bar,
even a decent solid set of bookshelf speakers, honestly.
yeah, for sure. But if you want like a good sound bar and you want to spend some good money, the LG SLY series are pretty good. They have the speakers that shoot up and bounce off your ceiling, and I thought it was kind of a gimmick at first, but no, man, you hear fucking noises above you, and there's no speakers above you. It's pretty crazy how they do that. John Wick is an excellent movie too. Have you seen the Thronos?
I have seen the Thronos.
So I just saw this today. It is an Acer product, which of course it is. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's one of those grandma boy, Matrix chairs where you sit in it and then you kind of got the widescreen monitor. You're kind of locked in there. But I love this stuff, dude. This is the stuff that I dreamed about as a kid. Like, man, if I could only like sit in a chair and use my computer at the same time, this is it, man.
$10,000, and they will come and install it in your own house.
Yeah, all right,
let's the computer.
Yeah, let's see the computer specs. I want to see the computer specs.
From what I remember, it wasn't a bad computer.
Oh, it's $30,000, dude.
Oh, wait, went way up then. Never mind.
It's $30,000. All right, well, now I'm a little bit apprehensive about it. The Orion 9000 desktop delivers extreme performance with the latest Intel and NVIDIA graphics. Let's see the display. Oh, you got 3 Predator displays, WQHD displays. I mean, it gives you pretty much everything, but you're paying like $20,000 for the chair alone, which is pretty cool. If you have the money, dude, please buy it and then take pictures and send it to us so we can laugh at you.
Yeah, no, it's like they come and hand install it because you have to like clean out a room for it.
Oh yeah.
And then like it will completely rise up. You
Let
can
me ask
go
you.
wherever you want.
Let me ask you, if you had the money was not an object for you, would you buy something like this? Like this exact chair?
Probably not.
I
But
don't
like
know. I kind of would.
I wouldn't, just because I'm more like I'd rather invest that money into building something my own.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I would want to go like if I'm gonna drop 30 grand on something, I want to do it
Yeah, I agree
to
with
how
you.
I want something.
I agree. You'd want like a real nice like office chair with like
Right. I want
real
the,
speakers and
I want
real
the best
monitors.
Herman Miller, and
Yeah.
I want a giant TV. Like one of those the OLED 144 hertz TVs.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That would be me personally.
Yeah, so when you think about it like this, who is this going to be marketed to? Because you're right. Like if you have the money to buy this, then you would already have something like this specific to what you want with much better specs. Probably save money in the long run. And
Now,
I don't know who this would be sold to.
The upside to this, though, and it would be a consideration, is how close you can actually get those monitors to you. And if they ever figured out a way to actually make them seamless, or like, so it just looked like one giant ultra wide display, so it was very close and you were just completely sucked in,
Yeah.
like you're in a fake VR, that
Yeah.
could be more compelling, I guess, to me.
Yeah.
Or like, I think there's promise with where they're taking like this idea where like in maybe like 5 years, this thing could be amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you wouldn't want to do some custom thing. But for me, like I'm thinking like I'd rather have a really nice Herman Miller chair next to like a bougie ass couch and like a really nice desk setup than
Right, me too.
a giant reclining chair that takes me into space.
And it's not just a chair; it's a fucking race car chair, one of those pieces of shit. Well, it does have the leg recline, so that's kind of nice. It is cool though. Like if I wish they could just have one, you know, I wish they could just send your boy one. All right, we haven't
like,
talked
just so you could try it out or something, like
yeah,
anything.
just to play with it for, you know, that's like anything. You play with it for an hour, then you're like, why the fuck did I buy this fucking monstrous grandma boy chair? All right, the Surface products, dude. What do you think, man? Are you impressed?
Yes and no. I think the AMD stuff's very interesting. I think they fucked up on the ARM.
Oh, you did?
I do. And
Why
I think they
how
fucked
so?
up on the ARM because they made the ARM chip more expensive. And I think the way to actually get that into more people's hands when they like think that they can't, I mean, if you can't even use everything on Windows and it costs more, that's a hard sell to me. I think they needed to price that not massively under the price of the Surface, but I think the ARM chip needed to be the cheaper one.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing. I think, yeah. Now, what I think
But
is
I like the idea. I like the concept. I want it to work.
I love the
just-
execution of it too.
Yeah,
I
I
like
just-
how the bezels are a lot smaller than the Surface Pro.
right.
The,
I think
the
they
pen
needed to
that hides in the keyboard.
I think they needed to swap them. I think they needed to just put the ARM chip in the regular Surface Pro and make the new ARM's good-looking Surface Pro the new Surface Pro.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. Because the Surface Pro was kind of whack. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's a little upgrade. You're getting a little upgrade. It's cheap, and it is a cool product, but that screen, I mean, look at those bezels. It's time for an upgrade on that screen. This is the seventh
Yes.
iteration.
No, they need to upgrade the bezel size on that screen. It is still a very good screen, I'll give it that, but no, they need to update it.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing I've been bitching about with iMacs. Like, come on, we don't need inch to half-inch bezels on everything still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like the Surface Pro X. I was super excited to see that.
And I think they needed to just swap those two. To be honest, like that would have been my ideal.
Yeah, the Surface laptop comes with a 13.5, which is like just an upgraded Surface laptop, and
Which is
then
still
a new.
great laptop.
Yeah,
in
it's a
my
nice
opinion,
little
but-
Ultrabook. They also added
But
the
the 15
Thunderbolt
inch
in
is
there,
interesting.
and the 15 inch is all AMD
AMD,
products.
that's really interesting to me. We'll see
Vega
if it
11.
takes off. I hope it takes off. We'll see.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
basically
how
were
it'll
like, and I like how they did it because they weren't like, we just wanted to use AMD. They did it because they were like, we can get a little extra performance and graphical performance out of it because Intel's graphics are a joke. That's the only
Yeah.
reason. So that's what I like to see.
I do like the fact that they're trying something new. Like I'm glad that they like, even though this has been leaked for 6 months, I'm happy they stuck to it. I like that they're trying at least like AMD's doing really well in the desktop space. I'm glad that they're like, okay, no, they could be onto something here.
Yeah. I will say I'm very upset there's no Surface Book 3. I was very
Same.
excited for that. I want to
Now,
see
I
one
think
with an
those
actual
usually-
dedicated GPU.
Those usually come out at different times.
Oh,
than
do they?
The laptop, yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird. That's been on like its own different like individual release cycle for the most part. But at the same time, they it seems like they update it every 2 or 3 years, usually closer to 3,
Okay.
which is the downside. I agree. I wish there was a Surface Book 3
Yeah.
even more improved. Go Ryzen in it. Screw your battery life. I don't care.
Yeah.
It'll still be good enough. It won't be amazing, but it'll be good enough. And then just put an actual graphics card in it. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
I would
That
love
would be
that.
sick.
I would absolutely buy that. But they didn't release it. They released it a bunch of like MacBook competitors and nothing that's really a MacBook Pro competitor. Like except the 15-inch laptop, which is pretty cool. But I tell you what, I'm very interested in seeing reviews on the Surface Pro X. I love always connected LTE products.
Yeah,
All right.
me too. I just want them to like actually do work on
I
with
know.
everything.
I know.
Like that's the big downside.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I had this other thing about Athene. I wanted you to explain this to me, but we'll get into that next week.
We'll do that. Yeah, I was gonna say. I saw that and I'm like, we're trying to do this short. We'll do that next week because that you could have a 30-minute
All right,
dissertation.
good.
on
Because
Athene.
I watched that video and I was very confused, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. Because I know you know who he is.
Well, the last thing he was doing the Legion expansion is he actually created his own cryptocurrency and was having his Twitch subscribers funnel money into his own cryptocurrency.
What was it called?
I can't even
Coin?
remember.
Athena coin?
I think he was actually trying to make it like a real one, but like his entire Legion streams was like the game on a super minimized screen and just him in a room with 2 other dudes with just charts on monitors, like trying to peddle fucking crypto bullshit.
That's fucking all right. I can't wait to hear about this guy. All right, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of No Life Digital. We'll catch you guys next week.